Uncharted 4 is thrilling, emotional, and visually stunning. What begins as a quieter, more grounded story quickly evolves into a globe-trotting adventure filled with treasure hunts, long-buried secrets, and personal stakes that hit harder than ever before. This time, the narrative places a stronger focus on Drake's past, adding new emotional layers to a character we thought we already knew. The storytelling is more mature and carefully paced, giving space to the relationships that truly define the experience. It's a story about obsession and legacy, all wrapped in the tone of a high-quality adventure film. On the gameplay side, it refines everything the series had built up to that point. The gunfights are more dynamic, and traversal is smoother thanks to new tools like the grappling hook. Spectacular action sequences return in full force, delivering some of the most cinematic moments in gaming.
To suffer to save your son. You have 5 minutes to cut off the last.
Heavy Rain is an intense psychological thriller that places storytelling and player choice at the very center of the experience. The game follows 4 different protagonists, all connected to the mysterious origami killer, a serial murderer who targets young boys. From the very first scene, there's a constant sense of tension and urgency, as every decision can have irreversible consequences. Characters can live or die depending on your actions, and the story adapts accordingly, leading to multiple possible endings. The emotional weight of the choices makes even the simplest interactions feel meaningful. The performances, music, and atmosphere work together to create a dark, rain-soaked world filled with suspense.
You don't really want war, do you, Kratos?
Another game with a truly fascinating story is God of War Ragnarok. If the 2018 entry already won us over with its powerful narrative and groundbreaking single-shot presentation, this sequel goes even further. It delivers a much more ambitious and compelling plot, brilliantly reinterpreting Norse mythology in ways that constantly challenge what we think we know. From the very beginning, it feels bigger, bolder, and more confident in the story it wants to tell. The script is impeccable, with an enviable sense of pacing that perfectly balances intense, action-packed moments with deeply emotional and moving scenes. What really makes it stand out is the humanity at its core, something very few games manage to achieve at this level. Some may still prefer the 2018 game, and I understand that, but personally, this one completely blew my mind.
Senua.
Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is one of the most intense and personal experiences I've ever had in a video game. From the very beginning, it pulls you into the mind of Senua, a Celtic warrior who embarks on a journey into Helheim to save the soul of her beloved. The game doesn't simply tell a story about mental illness. It makes you feel it in a way that's deeply unsettling and unforgettable. The voices in Senua's head whisper, argue, and doubt her constantly, creating an atmosphere of tension that rarely lets you breathe. What truly sets Hellblade apart is its commitment to authenticity and emotional weight. It's a psychological journey about trauma, grief, and resilience.
I won't ask again. Where is your son?
In good hands.
Where are we going?
A Plague Tale: Innocence is a third-person stealth and puzzle game set in the mid-14th century, where we follow the story of Amicia and her younger brother, Hugo. For reasons that are initially unknown, the Inquisition is relentlessly hunting the boy, and the main objective is to escape and keep him safe. As if that weren't enough, the country is being devastated by the bubonic plague, and swarms of rats have become a terrifying, ever-present threat. The atmosphere is oppressive, bleak, and deeply immersive. Every location reinforces the sense of desperation and decay. What truly elevates the experience is the relationship between Amicia and Hugo. Their dynamic evolves naturally as they struggle to survive, and the story carries a surprising emotional weight. And that fragile, human core is what makes this game such a memorable and haunting experience.
Thank you, Hugo.
In Days Gone, we step into the boots of Deacon, a biker who has lost the person he loved most, and who doesn't even seem sure why he keeps fighting to survive in such a hostile, dehumanized world. The story is carefully developed and unfolds through numerous cinematics and in-game dialogue, maintaining interest with a couple of major mysteries and the ongoing power struggles between survivor camps and rival factions. These groups are doing whatever they can to endure in a world overrun by freakers, creatures similar to zombies, but far more animalistic and unpredictable in their behavior. In the end, storytelling is where Days Gone shines the most. Deacon's personal struggle, along with the connections he forms along the way, pulls you in and keeps you invested until the very end.
Come on! Come on!
Cyberpunk 2077 begins by throwing us into the chaotic, neon-lit streets of Night City, a place overflowing with ambition, violence, and opportunity. The best part is the freedom, the ability to choose what to pursue at any moment, depending on what kind of experience you're in the mood for. The side missions, which can extend the experience to around 40 hours, maintain that same level of depth. Many of them unfold as small narrative arcs. They're layered, story-driven, and often just as compelling as the main plot. On a more conventional level, there are police gigs, races, shooting competitions, and vehicle collection activities that add even more content.
Told you I'd end you someday.
If BioShock was, for many players, the first truly great game of its console generation, then BioShock Infinite stands as one of its crowning achievements, a masterpiece within the first-person action genre, which has dominated the industry for years. It's breathtakingly beautiful, with a striking art direction and a setting that feels completely unique. The story unfolds naturally through gameplay rather than relying heavily on cutscenes, creating a seamless and immersive experience. The plot is carefully crafted, unpredictable, and capable of completely disorienting the player in the best possible way. And above all, the ending is unforgettable, easily one of the best conclusions I've ever experienced in a video game. The Witcher 3 is a landmark RPG that raised the bar for narrative-driven open-world games. Stepping into the role of Geralt of Rivia, a professional monster hunter, the story revolves around the search for Ciri, a young woman pursued by the terrifying Wild Hunt. From the very beginning, the game presents a morally complex world where choices rarely have clear right or wrong answers, and consequences often unfold in unexpected ways. It's a world shaped by war and superstition, and you feel the weight of that history in every region you visit. The Witcher 3 is a defining chapter in the history of video games. From the very first moment, Clair Obscur feels like something special, an RPG that dares to blend bold artistic vision with a deeply emotional narrative. Set in a hauntingly beautiful world inspired by a 19th-century French-inspired aesthetic, the story revolves around a mysterious entity known as the Paintress, who erases people from existence once they reach a certain age. Each year, an expedition sets out to stop her. This time, it's Expedition 33, and the weight of inevitability hangs over every step of their journey. It's ambitious, visually striking, and narratively bold. We're witnessing the arrival of a new modern classic.
Relax, old boy. We're on the same side, remember?
Sleeping Dogs puts us in the role of Wei Shen, an undercover cop in Hong Kong who infiltrates the Chinese triads in order to bring them down from within. To maintain his cover, he must carry out all kinds of missions for the organization, walking a constant tightrope between loyalty and duty. Beyond its gripping premise, the gameplay stands out for its dynamic combat system. Inspired by games like the Batman Arkham series, the fighting feels fluid and incredibly satisfying, perfectly matching the tone of Hong Kong action films. What truly makes Sleeping Dogs memorable is Wei Shen himself. He isn't a generic protagonist or a blank slate. He feels layered, conflicted, and deeply human, as the lines between his two identities begin to blur. In the end, Sleeping Dogs delivers not just a strong open-world experience, but a crime story that feels as compelling and real as a great movie.
Wei, I apologize.
And The Last of Us, we embark on an unforgettable journey where action and horror blend seamlessly with an outstanding script, powerful narrative, and, above all, incredibly complex and human characters who have become true icons of the medium. Joel and Ellie aren't just protagonists. They are deeply nuanced and emotionally layered, carrying the story with a level of depth that few games have ever achieved. Their relationship evolves naturally, and that progression gives the entire experience extraordinary emotional weight. The game makes us feel like true survivors in a ruthless and violent world, one that offers little hope and constant danger. It's not an exaggeration to say that The Last of Us is one of the greatest video games ever made, and certainly one of the ones that has left the deepest mark on me. When I think about a truly beautiful and impactful story, NieR Automata immediately comes to mind. The narrative takes place in a very distant future, thousands of years after the events of the original NieR. Earth has been invaded by a mysterious alien race that created deadly machines to wipe out humanity. In response, humans developed android soldiers to fight back. What starts as a seemingly straightforward sci-fi premise slowly transforms into something much deeper and far more philosophical. It constantly challenges expectations, both narratively and structurally, encouraging multiple playthroughs that gradually reveal the full picture. Combined with its emotional soundtrack and stylish combat system, it delivers an experience that is as thought-provoking as it is unforgettable. Final Fantasy VII is one of the most legendary games ever created. The original release was a cultural phenomenon that redefined what storytelling in video games could achieve. What made the original so incredible was its ability to balance intimate character moments with an epic, world-threatening narrative. The materia system allowed for deep customization in combat, while the soundtrack elevated every scene with themes that are still instantly recognizable today. It was ambitious, emotional, and ahead of its time, delivering moments that players still talk about decades later. The remake was an enormous challenge that many thought could never live up to the legacy. But this new version rises to that challenge with confidence. It expands the story, deepens the characters, and modernizes the combat with a dynamic hybrid system that blends real-time action with strategic elements. The original was incredible, and the remake proves it still stands at the highest level. Detroit Become Human is a powerful story-driven experience that dives deep into the concept of consciousness and free will. The story follows three different protagonists, each with their own perspective on a society built on control and inequality. From the very beginning, the game places difficult moral decisions in your hands, and every choice can dramatically alter the course of the story. What makes this game so compelling is the sheer scale of its branching narrative. Decisions don't just change small details. They can determine who lives, who dies, and how the entire conflict unfolds. Themes like freedom, discrimination, identity, and rebellion are constantly at the forefront, drawing clear parallels to real-world struggles. Detroit Become Human isn't about complex gameplay mechanics. It's a game that stays in your mind, making you reflect on every decision you made and the path you chose. The true strength of Mass Effect 2 lies in its story. If the narrative of the first game impressed you, this one surpasses it in every possible way and a far more ambitious approach. Everything feels bigger and more refined, with higher stakes and a constant sense that the galaxy is on the brink of something catastrophic. As in the original, one of the first major objectives is recruiting the squad members who will fight alongside you. The journey takes you from one planetary system to another, assembling a diverse and unforgettable team. Each character comes with their own background, motivations, and personal conflicts, and taking the time to understand them adds enormous weight to the overall experience. The loyalty missions, in particular, elevate the narrative and make every decision feel meaningful. Mass Effect 2 is a defining chapter in one of the greatest sci-fi sagas in video games.
Probably hang you, buddy.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the most ambitious and immersive open-world experiences ever created. Set during the final days of the Wild West, it tells the story of Arthur Morgan and the Van der Linde gang as they struggle to survive in a world that is rapidly leaving them behind. What truly elevates the game is its writing and character development. Arthur Morgan stands as one of the most complex protagonists in video games, and watching his internal conflict unfold is nothing short of remarkable. The gunfights are intense, the missions are cinematic, and the sheer level of realism adds weight to even the smallest actions. It's a masterclass in storytelling and world building that sets a benchmark few games have managed to reach. Drop a like and subscribe for more.